Hello guys, Chaosland and his big nose, I think over here, hail you. Today, I have decided to kind of talk about the topic that has been on my mind for quite some time, and those are my impressions of the BFA. Well, especially there is one impression that snapped in my head as I was writing all of those things down, and that is if the BFA is actually Warlords of Draenor 2.0. So let's get into it and let's find out. Let's start with questing. The questing in Battle for Azeroth is fucking glorious. It has good pacing, good twists, voice acting is great, and sometimes you are actually challenged to use your class because those quest mobs hit like a fucking truck. And yeah. Also, for example, when you have the end fight in Nazmir, when you find the Blood Mother, that's almost like a Mage Tower challenge boss, because it has a tactic you have to use, and I managed to die several times, not because there would be like my demon dying and boss killing me down. It was actually because I was a fucking retard and I forgot to move away, or because I was like, hey, what happens if that thing touches me, and it just EK'd me down. And like, the questing is really good, and for example in Zuldazar, when you quest and you have like that slow uncovering of the plot there, and then comes that backstabbing moment. Oh boy, that's glorious. I'm trying to keep this like kinda spoiler free, but okay. And that's probably all I have to say about the questing. Also, the end scenario of Zandalar is great, and the end scenario of Kultiras is maybe even better. So that's a little teasing, and now let's take a look on the 8 game stuff. Okay, the end game stuff. So far, it seems that the end game stuff is just like in Legion. Like, you have the war campaign, which is good. You have world quests, which with war mode they are gonna be pretty challenging. And then you have, of course, the Mythic Plus, which is going forward to BFA. We have raids, or raid, which I have not tested because I don't want to spoil everything for me on the beta. And then we have also Island Expeditions and Warlords. And speaking of, let's move on to the new systems. So let's start with Island Expeditions. It's a really good idea. Well, my initial thought after I have seen first playthrough through Island Expeditions, I think it was Mr. GM's one. There was one thing that kinda caught my attention. The AI was acting like StarCraft 2 AI. And after I tried it for myself, I have to say I was right. The AI in normal difficulty Island Expeditions is pretty fucking easy. It uses some spells, maybe some rules, but it doesn't exploit you and your mistakes, and the classes that are against you don't use their full potential. Heroic is okay, well, in script I have that Heroic is okay, but actually it poses a challenge. It's like a hard AI in StarCraft. It uses some crowd control, target switches, it interrupts. It's also slightly exploits your mistakes. Like, I had several times a rogue against me on the alliance side, and tank left me vulnerable because I had a tank. I was staying behind and I was just like casting my demons because I can't get enough demonology warlock. And then I had just heard that let's get stabby gnomish bullshit that started to stab me in the back, and I was fucked up. Because I opened myself, the tank went God knows where, and the third the guy was like somewhere in the middle, but everyone was out of range of me, and I was just left alone. And it nicely exploited the open space there. Also, the mobs are kinda harder in the way that you put two Crocolisks and you are fucked. It's still doable without any targeted team composition, but well, it's much easier when you have a tank. Like, a tank and 2 DPS is probably the okay comp when you are going heroic Island Expeditions. Now let's talk about Mythic expeditions. This is a fucking slaughterhouse. The AI there is like a StarCraft brutal AI. Like it's the classes that are against you do everything they can, even like just like if there were a true privates against you. The mobs hit like a fucking track, and the AI is exploiting everything. Like it's even targeting certain spells to interrupt. Like I was casting Shadowbolt, there was no interrupt. I started to cast into Gul'dan. All of a sudden, that fucking rogue appeared behind me, interrupted the hand of Gul'dan, and because it's a Shadow Flame spell, it kind of fucked all of my rotation. I couldn't do anything for like 4 seconds, and in those 4 seconds, it bushed me down. Like, really, it exploits everything, every mistake that you make, and I think that it's it would be better to take like a full pre-made group into the Mythic one with, of course, tank and healer. Tank, healer, and 1 DPS. That would be the best combo because it hurts a lot. Oh, and before we kinda get into the rest of the video, there is a little commercial break. Because I've heard that it's good to remind people somewhere in the middle of the video that they should subscribe to my channel. So, guys, if you find this video so far and you'd like to see more of my videos, then subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to make a video every 1 or 2 days. There has to be some schedule. Whenever I have an idea, I do a video. Okay? With the island expeditions out of the way, let's talk about Warfronts. Hell yeah, boy. Warfronts are fucking awesome. Like, I will enter it like, let's see what it will be, because I have not seen anything from the Warfronts, only how the buildings looked. And fuck yes, it was glorious! Like, I had an E-Drake on my side because I am a Horde count, and he was just like, alright boys, look down again! And we just jumped from the ship down and started to build a base and attack the Alliance, and then there was Darth Robane against me, and he was like, hey you green skin, fuck you! And E-Drake was like, green skin, now you got me mad! And they were like exchanging those insults, and it really helped build up the mood of the game, and then like collecting the iron and wood and gathering it to those buildings and building the troops and doing the researches and then having those elementals out, and it's really great. It feels like if they took the alt Alterac Volley and kind of reshuffled it and made it into a PvE system that is really funny. And it's quite a shame that there is no PvP version of it. I just hope they will add it somewhere on the way, maybe like a brawl mode, which would be like a PvP Warfront. That would be fucking awesome. But there is one concern about the Warfronts. Not really concern, because there is probably nothing they could fuck up. But their reward is very good. Maybe too good. So, like, the Warfront reward is basically heroic Uldir gear. Does it mean that Warfronts will release later in the expansion, or will there be a will they be there at the start? I hope they will nerf the rewards for the start, and they will be there from the start, because boy, it's glorious. Now let's talk shortly about classes, because I have done the fucking class comparison series, which was fucking fuck up sometimes, but sometimes it was good. So let's kind of summarize it. Apart from some individual exceptions, fucking English is hard today, as every day. There are no big reworks. Okay, classes I play feel good, of course, apart from Shadow Priest. And there is still one concern about the class design, and that's the Azeroth armor, because it's kind of weird. Like, many of those traits are just plain boring. They do nothing. No, okay, like sometimes you like let's take Demonology Warlock as an example. Sometimes you get empowered demon bolt, like plain empowered demon bolt. Sometimes you are basically a fire mage with the legendary wrist in Legion, where you just have to stop and then cast the demon bolt for those 6 seconds and then send it away, and then it hits hard, but you feel like a fucking retard because during the cast, in the 6 seconds cast, you kinda died because, well, you have zero mobility. Oh, okay, let's not get triggered. Not yet. I will save this for another video. Um, I just hope that these trades will not, or these trades are not what we will be left with the wall expansion, because boy, that would be. No, I don't want to imagine this. My hair, my glorious hair. Oh, that's bad. No, it's actually not. Oh, whatever. So, I just hope that the older gear and the future gear will have different trades that there are there now. Because, boy, it's simply boring and not interesting, and it's not what they promised us! Right now, you may be wondering how the fuck did I manage to conclude that BFA may fail just as Warlords of Draenor did, when I'm like happy with all those new systems they have brought in. But, well, through all of those I have spoken about, Battle for Azeroth still has the potential to fail miserably. Blizzard is once more going from a world-ending threat into a character-driven narrative, and although they did a great job, they still can fuck it up. Like, do you remember how Warlords of Draenor started? How glorious the questing was? So far, they did a great job, but there is still a place for them to fuck it up. Battle for Azeroth also presents many new systems like the Warfronts and the Island Expeditions, and it can still end up just as Garrison did, where it would just like, you know what? Fuck this. Let it be on the level 3 and don't touch that thing for the rest of the expansion. I am afraid, or I fear that they might do it with Island Expeditions and Warfronts, and it will kill those systems. But on the other hand, like Island Expeditions, they might end up being an esport, because PvP Island Expeditions, when you have, which is basically a race of 2 teams of 3 players against each other, they are collecting Azerite, they are killing themselves. It's a hybrid of PvE and PvP. That could be a great team sport, and if they give it a solid attention and they will improve the rewards and keep the difficulty up to date, then it will be glorious. If they don't do that, it will be a fuck up. Their AI project is great. With some more expanding, they could make it, well, they could make so much with it. It could even bring both a proper esports scene again, with something like 1v1 or free for all PvP with a interactive, self-thinking, self-changing map that would react to your place and movements and try to kill you, which means that you would not have to worry only about the opposite player, but also about the map itself. That would be really good and engaging to watch. Also, it could make arenas relevant. Like, I'm not saying the arena system itself, but the arenas is the places where you fight, because what is the difference between the certain arenas? Basically, no. There's basically no difference. Only thing that changes in arenas is where the line of sight pillar is. And that's boring. Like, of course, like you get a different layout. You are like on the Black Rook Gold arena fighting someone. Then you are in Nagran arena fighting someone, and you have like there is like a pillar there, and then there is pillar there. or there, or that is like a bridge, but really, this is boring. But if the maps would change depending on the player's actions and interactions and kind of play against both teams, it would be great. And well, that is then one thing that kind of keeps my hopes that Blizzard will like work with BFA and they will not abandon it mid-expansions as they did with Draenor. And that's how they are hyping. So, the Battle for Azeroth hype is kinda non-existent. When we look at Warlords of Draenor hype campaign, it had Gorehowl and New York's Taxi. They made 2 bikes just for the sake of Warlords, for the getting the attention to Warlords. They made the Lords of War series, the book, there were a shit ton of TV commercials, it was crazy. But Blizzard then completely fucked it up. They even overpromised what was going to happen, yeah? And well, yeah. Legion eventually ended up with only half of the hype. Like, there was the book, the Harbinger series, those comics, maybe 1 or 2 commercials like a month before the launch or something like that. And they did very well. BFA has basically zero thing. Until like 1 or 2 weeks ago, when there was where the YouTube ads started, there was no campaign from Blizzard at all. Everything was done just by Ian's Q&A, Blizzard announcement, and then the community itself. Because we are the ones who argue in public about burning of Teldrassil. We are the ones that are either saying that Sylvanas is evil bitch or that she is evil bitch with good intentions. Like, all of it was done by us. And considering that Blizzard is basically not doing anything about the hype train, then I think that they have something in the sleeve that they will draw out some top deck card and play it, and it will end up really well because it's this is the exact opposite of Warlords. So now let me talk about my final word. BFA has a huge potential. There is so many things that could fuck up, but I don't think it will. Blizzard definitely took their lessons from Warlords of Draenor and eventually Cataclysm, and they will not scrap any promised content. They will not overpromise anything, and they will definitely test many things. And with that, I am going to end this video. So, if you have liked this video, give it a like. If you have disliked this video, give it a dislike, and use the comment section below to tell me what exactly you did not like. Was it my big nose, my new microphone, my crazy tryhard to kind of solve the issues of yelling parrots and TV running in the background and my keyboard raping and my this thing? Well, use it and tell me. Then use the conversation also to tell me what you think about the Battle for Azeroth. Do you share that little worm in my head that it might be all just a much to fuck up? Or do you share the rest of my brain which thinks that it will be a good thing? That it will all end up pretty well? And yeah, well then, what's next? Yeah, if you want to support me somehow, share the video wherever you can. Because, well, spread the word that I exist. If you dislike this video so much that you would like to do my life, again, share the video whenever you can, and write something like, hey guys, come and hate this fucker because he's fucking bad. Then, if you would like to hear more of my ramblings and see more of my videos, and what I have plans in the future, I'm trying to go with one video every 1 or 2 days. Some kind of schedule must be made because, well, I heard that it attracts people. Then feel free to subscribe and hit the notification bell to see whenever I put out a new video. And then I'm going to thank you for watching this video, and I will see you sometime in the future. So bye bye guys.